Hey guys, welcome back to yet another practice session. We're going to soft toss it like we always do to try to get better results. I've been practicing this soft toss for quite some time and it's been transferring over to the casino. So I'm kind of liking the process and the results that I'm getting. So hopefully you guys could benefit from this too. But before we do any of that, can you do me a favor and just hit that like and subscribe button? I could be up close and personal with you guys, and you guys can really see how my practice sessions go. I don't do betting strategies, until I get good at it. Then maybe I can help people with their betting strategies. But I'm one of those guys that plays the field numbers. I play it simple. Okay. I'm not there yet with betting strategies. I don't do iron cross. I don't do any of those, where you lay all your chips on the tables and think that you're going to be that dice controller that's going to go on a long roll and make a lot of money. I'm not there yet. I'm consistently in my teens, like 15 rolls before I crap out, 17 rolls before I crap out. I want to get to my 20s and I want to get into my 30s. Then maybe I could get better at betting strategies and make real money. But right now, I'm just betting small, $10 tables, $10 chips on the pass line. And then when I get to my point, I chase my point with a $10 field chip. And then that's how I do it, right? I start making my field numbers. And hopefully, with this soft toss, it's been transferring over to the casino, which is crazy because at home, I get a lot of sixes, eights, inside numbers, fives. And then at the casinos, because of my dice at the 6-3, which I use at home and at the casino, I get field numbers. Can't explain it, but it's working, and I got to be happy with those results. And I hope that you guys can get something out of it. So let's get going. Let's do another practice session. I hope you guys are enjoying this content. Hit that like and subscribe button. If I make any mistakes, please let me know. So let's get going. Okay, guys, in case you haven't seen my previous videos or you're tuning in for the very first time, we don't play a game here. It's just a practice session. We just worry about our soft tossing and stuff like that. Let me get some debris that's out of the way. Let me see if I can flatten out a little bit of my felt. You could tell that it's on top of a picnic table here, but sometimes the felt does not comply like a real casino felt. So hard table, okay. This is on top of a picnic table, and of course I have my practice box. So let's see if I can show you how I set up real quick. I know in my previous videos I show you these setups a lot, okay. Try to be quick, especially when you're at a casino. You want to do this setup between 7 seconds, 10 seconds tops. Anything more than that, sometimes the casinos let it go. It all depends on how quick the game is going around the table. Okay, got the 5-1 there. Okay, let me rotate it. That's the way it looks on top. 6-3 for the 9. Rotate it again. 6-2 for the 8. Rotate it again. The bottom should have 4-1 for the 5. And then on the inside, it's going to be 5-3 for the 8. And then obviously on the side, we got the 4. Let me go over here. We got the 2 for the 6. Okay. And then, like I said, right, the top is going to be 6-3. That's my set I use all the time. And basically, it's been working for me. For some reason at home, I'm hitting a lot of 6s, 8s, and 5s. Anyone that's watching this dice set is going to say, of course, because you're setting it up for the inside numbers. True. But when I get to the casinos, I'm hitting a lot of field numbers from this dice set. I can't explain it. Maybe it's because this is a hard table, and at the casino, it's just a tad of a bouncy table. So I'm having success, at least at the casino, and I'm happy for them. Just trying to get what little hair or whatever off this felt, you know. But it's a good felt. I got it for $20. My wife paid $20, I think, at a five and dime store, Dollar General or something like that. We got lucky finding it. Then when I pick up my dice, this is how I use my stack grip. It's a comfortable grip for me. You guys could do whatever grips you want. And, usually my toss is like this. I kind of loop it a little and I lean into my toss. So, guys, please understand that you got to get a comfortable grip. Okay. And also, you guys got to realize that by getting a comfortable grip after setting the dice, and your release is going to be a soft toss today. It's just practice, and hopefully, maybe you guys can adopt it. If it works for you, great. You could practice this at home. We're trying to aim right here. See where this marker is going? We want to hit underneath the alligator skin. This is the alligator skin. We all know everything goes random once the dice hits there. So what you want to do is come in high and soft, not too high. I mean, I know we're all taught about the 45-degree angle, but if you guys can get it to the point where it lands, get your landing zone somewhere here, couple of rolls, and then maybe it dies over here. You want to make sure that the box man sees that at least the dice is hitting the wall. I know some throws are going to be off. Some of the landing zones will be here, all over the place. Some will hit the alligator skin, bounce off hard. Listen, no throw is perfect, but if you practice enough and get that muscle memory, then maybe it'll help you. And so far, it's been for me. Like I said, I'm in the teens right now, consistently. So I'm not crapping out like in the beginning of my career where I was like 4 rolls crapping out. Then I would go on a 9 roll and crap out. Now it's becoming consistent. I'm starting to hit like 13 and then crap out, then 14, then crap out, 17s, 18s. If I could get it in the 20s, the 30s, man, that would be awesome. But it's because I've been soft tossing this dice and it's been helping. So let's get going. Remember, I have a whiteboard chart that's going to chart my throws. I'll try to give you some good angles on this, okay? So let's get going. Let's see what we can do here. Right, I came in hard, but I believe we got ourselves a hard 10 out of it. There we go. There's the hard 10. So, okay, we'll take that, right? Came in a little too hard, but the first one was a hard 10, and that was awesome. That's what you want to see, You want to see that you can make these throws, softly, making sure it hits the wall properly, okay? So there was your hard 10 to start the game, and that's a good sign. That was the dreaded 7, okay? So already, like I always say, the 7 comes out the most. 6 out of 6, right? According to analytics, 1 out of 6 rolls. So here it is. We already got the first 7. It'll be marked in red. All other numbers in purple. Let's keep it going. All right. Let's see if we could get a good session out of this, guys. Because we want to build our confidence and want to get better results. And we also want to show that maybe soft tossing it is the way to go, right? Hit underneath the alligator skin. That was much better, and we got a hard 8 out of it. Okay? There's your hard 8. Okay? Awesome. Okay, so that was a much better throw. I'm throwing from stickman right. I'm a lefty. Okay, so all right, so that was a much better throw. Let's see if our muscle memory can give us another throw like that. It was close. Got a 5. All right. Remember, this is a practice session for muscle memory. The soft toss. Okay. The soft toss. We're going to be throwing a lot. So you're going to see, the dreaded number come out consistently. It's because we're tossing a lot. I mean, anybody that goes in the high hundreds and 200s is going to know that the 7s are going to come out about 20 times. Right? That one didn't reach the wall. The box man won't count it. Okay? Some do, some won't. We're not going to count it. Even though it was an easy 10, we're not going to count it. Okay? All right, let's do a do-over on that. It's important to get these practices in because you want that muscle memory. Oh, snake eyes. One of them really hit that alligator skin, came spinning out, but it wasn't a 7, it was snake eyes. So we'll take that because we're trying to avoid the 7. I don't like that number 7. Okay, if I had my chip, which it is right here on the field number, would have paid double. And if it was on my one roll bet, it would have been 30 for 1. So you would have gotten paid the double plus the 30 for 1 if you had a one roll bet on it. You know, if it was $10, it would pay 300, and if it was $100, you're looking at $3,000. Ain't that something? That was a soft toss. What did we get out of it? The 1, and there's a 5. So we got the 4-1. We got the 5. Okay, always keep in mind the box man might let it slide. If you create the optical illusion to him, there's a good chance that he might let you slide without hitting the wall. But it only has to be like one of them. I think if both don't hit the wall, more likely he ain't going to let that slide. So keep that in mind. All right, let's continue. All right, setting the dice. That was way too short. We're not counting that, even though it landed as a 5. The whole purpose of my toss, people, is that I'm trying to get the muscle memory down. This is a difficult shot. Anybody that's played craps will tell you trying to soft toss it down the wrong way, it's just difficult. Even the great ones that have great consistency in the dice control will tell you they like to go for corner shots. Unfortunately, my table doesn't go and reach around. It doesn't have the alligator skin here or here. I'm just centralizing right here. This is my zone. All right. I'm just concentrating on my box. So if I could do a corner shot, maybe I could adjust my throw. So at the casino, you will be adjusting your throw anyway because of the bounce of the table. But as you can see, guys, not one toss is going to be great. This is a very, very difficult toss. Even as a dice controller, they'll tell you that, okay? I try to be a rhythm thrower because I want to keep consistently hitting that spot, and it's difficult to do, especially from 12 foot out. Okay, that was a 9, and look at the numbers that came out, guys. Remember earlier how I was setting my dice? Look what happened. Because I was setting my dice, the numbers came out that way. See? Got the 9. Comes with practice. All right? I know that some of my videos go long. Most of them are like 1 hour, most of them I think are an hour and a half, but that's because we're tossing a lot. And I have to show my audience that when you're tossing a lot, sometimes you get fatigued and you're going to see some bad throws. So, I try to show the audience as much as I can. And that was a 6, easy 6. Okay, that's an easy 6. All right, there we go, easy 6. And again, a lot of 6s and 8s will probably come out during our practice sessions. If you guys want to see shorter videos and maybe you get the point of what I'm trying to show and accomplish here, then, okay, let me know. I'm just showing these videos because I practice almost every day. So when I have these practice sessions, I like to share it with you guys, show you that, yeah, I'm putting the effort in to get better results. Okay, that was another 6. Okay. That was another 6. There we go. So yeah, guys, it's going to happen. All right. You just have to keep practicing. Don't quit. Don't get discouraged when you see a lot of sevens. I know people that practice, they get so pissed off and, you know, and then they just don't want to practice no more. And that's a bad thing. You got to keep practicing. That was hard. And the dreaded seven came out. So I made a mistake there when I tossed this dice. I came in too hard and the dreaded seven came out. So that's on me. But this is why we practice, to get better at what we do. Okay? It helps that, you try to make your tosses better. Okay? You practice, 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 and then you practice more. Okay, that was an easy 8. And I started going to casinos some 25, 30 years ago. I started in 1995, in the summer of 1995. Then I would head out there with my wife on date nights, and we would have a lot of fun. That's when I got hooked to going to casinos, started playing slot machines, and then as the years went on, I was looking for other games to play, hooked up with blackjack, started card counting, and got really good at it. That's a 3. I got really good at it, but unfortunately, I wasn't getting the results like the MIT team, right? Or like, or Ed Thorpe, I believe, was the guy that created card counting, right? The godfather of it. So I wasn't getting those results. Okay, I wasn't making the big money because there were shuffling machines, changing of dealers. It was a grind. And I just, I lost interest in it real quick. Sometimes I would sit at the table for a good 2.5, 3 hours to make an extra $50. It wasn't even worth it. I was better off playing a slot machine where one hit, you could pretty much get $500 if you're playing max betting or something like that. That one hit the alligator skin. That first dice went up, hit the alligator skin, came back down as a 2, ended up with the dreaded 7. So, okay, not quite the start I wanted, but we're going to continue practicing. All right. There we go. So that's a 7. So, yeah, it's going to happen. Okay. Came in hard. Got to soften my throw a little bit. Really coming in too hard. That was a 6. Okay. There we go. So, yeah, I started trying to find other table games after blackjack. Try baccarat. It's a 50-50 game. Has a high house edge. Or gambling table games and casinos, they all have a high house edge. But I think craps or baccarat has the highest. But that was also a grind. It's banker player. It's not. I don't want to waste my time. That's an easy 6. The only way to make money at those games, believe it or not, you have to place big money on the table. And when you start doing that, they look at you funny, like, does he know something we don't know? And if you win, the pit bosses begin to look at you. Okay? They begin to look at you differently. So it's one of the reasons why I don't like doing that. The dreaded 7 came out yet again. Okay? You see there, I'm flipping it over for you guys. Okay, there's no bullshitting in my practice. I give it to you straight. Okay? Give it to you straight. All right. So that was the 7. Let's continue. Don't get discouraged. Just keep practicing. It'll get better. Trust me. What's that? An easy 10. Okay. That was an easy 10. All right. Okay. There we go. Easy 10. Just keep practicing, guys. It'll come to you. Trust me. The more you practice, hopefully it could translate to the casino. But I say it a lot. Sometimes your practice sessions really don't translate to the casino. Different felts, different circumstances, right? Also, at home, I throw the sixes and eights with the same dice set. Some reason I get to the casino and I'm throwing nines, twos, fours, 12s. I can't explain it. I like that throw because it hit underneath the alligator skin, ended up getting a 3. It's muscle memory. Muscle memory. You got to always remember how you threw it. You got to always remember how you stood, how you leaned into it. I'm throwing from 12 foot out, stickman right. At the casinos, I try to get to 10 foot, make that throw shorter to get better results. And that's what we're trying to do in our practice, get better results. And that's the dreaded 7 again. So, look, guys, it's happening. 7s are coming out. It's not something you want to see in your practice sessions, but they're coming out. All right, that's what, our 5th one so far, right? So if you were at a casino, you'd be a little upset. You'd be pissed off that you're not going on long rolls. That means you're not making money and you got to depend on other people to throw. I use the Dom Larigio 5 count when I have to depend on others. And there's a Yo 11. There's a Yo 11. Okay. I always show my dice for my audience because I try not to mess with the camera angles and stuff. I try not to edit too much. I mean, the only editing I do is when I pause it. It's pretty much it. Other than that, I'm not going to mess with the camera. It is what it is. If I get 10,000 sevens, it doesn't matter. I'm going to show it. Muscle memory. That was a nice throw. Hard 4. Want to get it underneath the alligator skin. Okay, that was a hard 4. So, as I'm writing these numbers down, I would love to see the board. So many purples. I don't want to see no 7s. Hard 10. That was a good shot too. That was a good shot too. So muscle memory sometimes begins to kick in after a while. But every now and then, you could get a bad toss. And it's going to happen. This is why I tell people, don't get discouraged. Don't put too much emphasis on, I screwed up, I did this. It's going to happen. This is why we practice. All right? Casino P, hit that like and subscribe button for me, please. I need viewers. Dreaded 7. So, listen, a lot of 7s coming out. And what you do at the casino sometimes, just to change a little bit of the jinx, you change the dice, and that's what we're going to do. Okay? Sometimes the dice will wear out on you, but we had a dreaded 7 come out. Okay, dreaded 7. Yikes. So I'm going to go with the red. Okay? I'll go with the red. And you know what I'm going to do too? I'm going to angle my camera differently right now. Let me see if I could be a little soft over here. There we go. Just want to angle my camera so to get a better view of how they're landing, okay? Hope it helps. Okay, it's not going to be perfect, but I hope it helps. Let's see how that looks for you guys, okay? There you go. All right. Hopefully this might help. Okay. Ooh, that was a high throw. Yikes. And a 5 came out. Okay. That was a 5. So we changed the dice. They do that at the casinos. Okay, guys? They do that at the casinos. All right. So get used to that. Get used to standing a long period of time until you get the dice back. Let's see if I could get a better angle. Just trying to get better angles, guys. Try to get a better angle. Okay. I don't know, is this good or let's see. All right. Let's see. All right, we'll try that. All right, see how that works. Okay, that's a hard 8. Okay, hard 8. All right. Okay, there we go. That was a hard 8. Okay. Just trying to give you the best angles I can. Okay. That's an easy 10. It's an easy 10, guys. There we go. Trying to soft toss it to that wall underneath the alligator skin. Okay, that's what we're trying to do. Easy 10. If we could find some consistency on that, maybe somebody out there could try it. I'm sure they are trying it. Ooh, you saw that spin? That was crazy. But it was spinning like this. It was spinning like that. And I'm okay with that. I just don't want that wobble. All right. So it was a Yo 11. So I like that toss. I liked it. Yo 11. And as I'm tossing, I'm also charting my numbers. And you guys ought to be doing that too. So you can see where your mistakes are at, right? Are they at the beginning? Are they at the middle? Or are they at the end? When your body begins to fatigue, you could get bad numbers. That was under, look, another Yo 11. That was also underneath the alligator skin, okay? If you guys got those super slow-mo angles, you will notice that. Okay, so that was a Yo 11 again. So that's the consistency I'm looking for, guys. Okay, that's the consistency I'm looking for. Little too hard, and the dreaded 7 came out. So just when I was feeling good about myself, dreaded 7 comes out. It does get frustrating. I'm not gonna lie, but it doesn't mean you quit at what you're doing. You just continue at it. Trust me. You just continue at it. All right? We're not quitters here. We're winners. We're winners. What was that famous quote from the Philadelphia Eagles, Dick Vermeil, right? Telling the owner, we're winners, Ronnie, we're winners, right? Something like that. There we go. That was a nice toss, just like I wanted it, right? I told you that my landing zone around here, and then you saw it like roll a couple of times, and it came to a complete stop at the wall, which was perfect. The box man liked it. So that was a 4. That's what we got to do, guys. Okay? That's what we got to do. You got to constantly hit that wall. That's a 5. I know at times I talk and I could ramble on, but sometimes I tell you the stories that go on at casinos because you need to hear them too. If you're a first timer on this channel, hit the like and subscribe button. I have so many of my practice sessions already going. And in the beginning, that's a 4, easy 4. In the beginning, some of my videos I was making mistakes on, and I wasn't really educated enough to speak about some of those mistakes. And I was catching them when I would review them. I was posting them up without, uploading them without really reviewing them. And it was embarrassing for anyone that's played the game and they were hearing me. They would have thought, what is this guy talking about? I mean, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. But I fixed it up. I went over, I wish I could delete them. I fixed them up. And now I'm posting up better videos. Hopefully these practice sessions are what you're looking for. That was really hard. Hit the alligator skin, and yet again, a dreaded 7. So this practice session is really not taking off the way I want. Getting a lot of 7s early, and that's really frustrating. We even changed the dice at one point, but I'm going to stick with this for now. Well, hopefully we could start getting better numbers. That was too hard, but it was an easy 8. All right, we're trying to practice the soft toss. Easy 8. Okay, we're trying to practice the soft toss. This is a difficult shot. Anybody that's played craps with experience, including people that have been around the game for years, will tell you it's crazy. Took too high. I came in right high. When they hit, it went real up, hit the alligator skin, but we still got a favorable number. It was a 9. Okay. We ended up with a favorable number. Okay. Remember, this is a hard felt. There are different felts. Different casinos have different tables. Okay. So you got to find the casino that fits your comfortability. That was an easy 8. Got to find a casino that fits your comfortability. Because otherwise, all this practice, and let's say you get to a casino with a bouncier felt that could really throw your game off. You could lose a lot of money. We don't want that. We do not want you to lose money. We want you to win money. One of them hit the alligator skin, but we ended up getting a favorable bounce, and that's a hard 4. Okay? It's a hard 4. There's many YouTube videos out there that you guys can look at for betting strategies. Okay. There's also a lot of them that show you how to toss, throw, different dice sets. It came too hard, but it was an easy 8. I believe one of them hit the alligator skin. My YouTube channel is going to be focusing in on tossing this dice to give us an advantage. I'm practicing the soft toss. Less spins in the air, less spins when it hits. And I want at least a couple of rolls before I can get to that back wall. I don't want to hit the alligator skin. I want that muscle memory to the point where we're not hitting that alligator skin at the casino. Oh wow, that was a bad throw. You could hear the pop when it hits the felt. It was like really hard. That means that your throw came in too hard, but we got a favorable number. This is the way I set it up. So you don't want to come in that hard, not at all. I don't like when I do that. I do not like that. Even though the number was in our favor, You want to get this muscle memory down. That was also another hard one, and yet another 9 came out. Crazy, isn't it? Look at that. It's crazy. Wow, another 9. All right, we're starting to see hard throws. Could it be fatigue? Could it be the fact that I have a lower back problem? And there are times I'm at the table, at the craps table at the casino, and if it starts acting up, usually I carry a leaf. I'll have it with some water, which I'm gonna have right now. And sometimes what happens is your throws are gonna be off, really off, if you continue playing. And what I do is I'll walk away from the table once the game is off. That was too hard, but it was a hard 4. Once I see this go off, if I'm fatigued or feeling pain, I walk away from the table. Okay? I'm not gonna, this was a hard 4. I'm not gonna continue play because that's when you know you're gonna start getting some bad throws. And guys my age know what I'm talking about. Okay? You know, when you're a spring chicken and you're young, you're in your mid 20s, then you can stand there for hours playing. So anybody out there who's interested in the game of craps, just practice. Practice first. If you're a random thrower, then you do what you got to do. Just practice your betting strategies. But if you are already good at a betting strategy and you just want another edge, then maybe learning how to set the dice and getting a comfortable grip and releasing it is for you. Yeah, I think one of them hit the alligator skin and the other didn't, but we still got a number that was favorable. We got an easy 4 out of it. Okay? Just have to be patient, guys. You really do. You have to be patient. All right? Got another 4. You know, sometimes the muscle memory can kick in, right? You know, I wish I could mark the floor of where I'm throwing, but my wife would kill me if I mess up the floor of the house. Okay, so I don't want to get in her wrath. Okay, you know, I'd be doing this in a basement, but there's so much work going down there in the basement, and I just can't get it fixed. I'm trying my best. There's another 4 4s in a row. If you were at the casino, you're making some money on the field bets. And I'm pretty sure the stick man's like, hey, you know, throw some more money onto that field number, you know, on the field numbers, you know. And he would be right in saying that, but I don't play that way. That didn't reach, but it was a 5, so I'm not going to count it. Okay, that did not reach the wall. The box man wouldn't count it, especially when you start getting on a decent roll. That's the first thing I'll say. They're in the business of making money, not in the business of giving you money. So bear that, right? Keep that in mind. That's how casinos roll. And we got a 5. All right. We got the 1. We got the 4 to give us the 5. So it does happen, guys. Okay. It does happen. Casinos over the years has been like 65-35, right? 65%. They've taken my money, and the 35% I've taken that money. I've done well at slot machines in the early part of my gambling career. I used to hit the jackpots and, you know, ended up buying a house on one of them. Now that's a hard 10. Now they got this 19% tax bill that they came out with, that big beautiful bill that they're calling it. Not so beautiful for gamblers like us, right? They're gonna expect you to start filling out those W-2s. Okay, so when you go to a casino, that might be a bad thing to hit a jackpot. And you're going to be in a different tax bracket if you consistently start hitting jackpots because you got to claim those, right? We always claim those on our W-2s, but now it's going to be a little bit different. So be careful out there, people, when you're betting. I play small to win big, but if I could prevent filling out a tax form, I think it's 1,200. That's when you have to fill out a tax form. Try to prevent that. There's an easy 8. Try to prevent that. And what I mean by that is like try to get it underneath the 1,200, and I think you'll be okay. Okay, so for those people that want to play big, they might rethink that. And I'm seeing a lot of slot machine YouTubers that are now starting to realize they're going to get caught out there. This one hit the alligator skin. Hard 8. It's a hard 8. Hit the alligator skin. It was a 9. Okay, it's a 9. Again, sometimes the box man will let it slide. If it's a good enough optical illusion to the box man, he'll let it slide. Just trying to even out this felt. It's getting worn out. Practiced so much on it over the years, it's starting to get worn out. Might have to get a new one. Would love to get one in black. It'll highlight the numbers better. Came in too hard and dreaded 7. Dreaded 7. You were doing so good, and now the 7 came out. All right, 7 came out. You were on a decent roll. All right. Okay, let's switch the dice a little bit. Let's go with the greens. It's a 3. Okay. It's also known as a field number as well as a craps number. Too hard, and the dreaded 7 came out. All right. Gotta soft toss it a little better than that. Gotta soft toss it a little better than that. That was a bit too soft. We're not going to count that one, even though it was an easy 8. We're not going to count it. That was a bit too soft. I don't think either one of them got to the wall. That was an easy 8. Okay. All right. That was an 8. Trying to set my dice. Release. That was a much better throw. You could hear it when it lands, how soft it was. Easy 10. Wasn't too bad. Easy 10. That was too hard, but we got an easy 6 out of it. Remember, we're trying to hit underneath the alligator skin. Boxman can't say nothing as long as it's getting to the wall and it comes in a little bit high. Do not line drive it because they won't count that. That happened to a YouTuber. I believe that was the bone thrower. And I also believe he got banned from the casino for doing that. But he was actually trying to slide the dice down the runway, and they kind of got, guess, frustrated with him doing that, and they said something. That's a 9. Okay, it's a 9. That's the dreaded 7. Sucks. Frustrates me. But I don't get discouraged. Right? Just got to keep practicing. It's for muscle memory anyway. It's an 9. Not every toss is going to be perfect. Some won't even reach the wall. But that's why we practice, because when you get on the felt at the casino, it's going to be a little bit bouncier and it will get to the wall. Trust me when I say that, because it's been happening to me at the casino. That was a much better throw. It had a lot of spin on it, but managed to get a 3 out of it. If you got long arms, man, that'll really help. You could shorten that throw with long arms. I got short arms. Oh, that came in hard, but we got the 6. Easy 6. It's too hard. Okay, easy 6. Too soft. Try to get cute, and even though it was an 8, it was too soft, and never even, no way they count that at the casino. So that's a do-over at the casino. Got to hit the wall. Boxman will remind you as a, oh, that was too hard, but hit a couple of landmines, and this was a 5, so we put some landmines out here just to give it some realism. Okay. Put some landmines out here. All right. All right. All right. Should be enough landmines. All right. That was what, a What did I get? Five out of, what was it? Five? I don't know. Maybe I made a mistake. But let's get some landmines out there. That was a easy 8. That was an easy 8. If I made a mistake on that last throw, I totally forgot what I had rolled. If I made a mistake, just correct me on the comments. Hit the like and subscribe button, please. Love to hear from you guys. It's coming in too hard now. Gotta adjust my throw right now because it's coming in too hard. So sometimes that will happen at the casino too. Comes in too hard. You have to adjust your throw, especially at bouncy tables, but also adjust your throw just to, come in softer. It's a difficult shot. That was too soft. Not going to count that. Even though that was an easy 6, I'm not going to count it. Came in too hard. Too soft. Let's do it again. Trying to get muscle memory. That was an easy 8. I like that throw a lot. Hope I can do it again. That was an easy 8. Hope I can do that again. Hopefully the muscle memory remembers. Whoa, almost hit a landmine. Too soft. Even though that was a 9, it was too soft. Won't count that. That was an easy 10. Like I said, the optical illusion to the box man, he might give it to you. Or he might say a do-over. But I'm going to mark it as a 10 for a confidence builder. All right. That was a hard throw. Sometimes what happens, you have like a couple of bad tosses and then you adjust and then you come in too hard. But that was a 3. All right. Nope. Try to get it over the landmines, but I'm not going to count it. Even though it was a 5, I'm not going to count it. Remember, you got landmines, people putting last minute bets. So that was a 4. Much better throw. Okay. That was a 4. Hope you guys enjoying the content. Hope you guys are. I expect the criticism. I'm not perfect. Trying my best. Just trying to see if I could get better results. This was not the result I wanted, and it was the dreaded 7. Okay, so it does happen. It's going to happen. You just can't quit. Don't get discouraged. was all over the place, but we got a hard 6. Came in too hard, bounced everywhere, hit the alligator skin, you name it. Not a hard 6. Different toss, softer one, hit underneath the alligator skin, and got the hard 6. Just remember, the dice will not come back to you as quickly as you do at home. Okay? So if you want to practice taking your time and getting the dice back, do a 3 minutes in between a toss, and that'll give you some realism to it. Not going to count that. Didn't even reach the wall. Easy 6. Much better toss. There you go. All right. These videos will go long because we're doing a lot of tossing, because I'm trying to get into muscle memory, and hopefully you guys can get something out of this. Just trying to see if this is a better way of getting results at the casino. It's a hard 4. I'm going to be honest with you, the memory part of it is really translating over to the casino. Whatever numbers you're getting here at home is not what's going to translate to the casino. It's going to be the muscle memory of how you're tossing it, how you're setting, gripping it, and releasing it, and the soft toss. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm getting results. I'm in the teens consistently right now. It's a 9. It's a 9. You want to hit underneath the alligator skin. Want to hit underneath the alligator skin. As long as you're doing that, you're going to be good. The dreaded 7. A lot of 7s coming out during this practice session. A lot of 7s. Change up the dice. Going with red right now. And I get the dreaded 7. So I change the dice. And that's going to happen at casinos too. Sometimes you want to change the dice, right? And you mess with your mojo. And you end up getting a 7 out of it. If it was a come out roll, I mean, it's okay, you know. But we're trying not to get 7s. That's the way I practice. I just don't like seeing 7s. Unfortunately, they do come out. Yet another 7. 3 7s in a row. Wow. Like I said, 20 of them could come out in a row. It's muscle memory. The toss was okay. The number wasn't. The result wasn't. Just can't quit. Just got to keep up. Part 6. Much softer. Hard 6. Easy 6. Easy 6. Easy 6. Not going to count that. That didn't even get to the wall. That didn't get to the wall, even though it was an 8. You want to get to the wall. That was a 9. Hit the alligator skin, came in too high. He's yo 11. Came in too high again, too hard, but the result was there. Yo 11. Easy 10. Okay, easy 10. Too hard, 5 came out. Too hard. Want to hit underneath the alligator skin. Much better. 9. Getting an exercise here back and forth. It's a 4. Dreaded 7. Dreaded 7 again. Too hard. 4. 5, 2 hard, easy 8, 9, 9 again, 9 again, 6, 5, not going to count that one, then hit the wall, snake eyes, 2, 30 for one shot. That one crossed over for yo 11. Want to hit underneath here, not here. Okay, yo 11. Okay, let's keep the good fortune going. Not going to count that. Neither one hit the wall, even though it was a 5. Neither one hit the wall, so I'm not going to count it. Do over. That's a 9. It's a 9. Hope you guys enjoying the content. Hit the like and subscribe button. That was way hard. But a Yo 11 came out, hit a landmine. Yo 11. Yeah, we're trying to practice the soft toss, but some throws are coming in too hard. Some aren't even reaching the wall. That's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. I'm not going to count this, even though it was a hard 6. It's a do-over. Okay. Every time you're practicing, it's going to take a while before you can get consistent. Oh, that one came in hard. Easy 8. Easy 8 again. Ooh, that almost hit a landmine. Got an easy 10 out of it. Try to get cute there. It's the second one that almost hit a landmine. It was a hard 6. Easy 6. It was too hard, but I got a snake eyes out of it and it hit a landmine. 30 for one shot if you have money on the 30 for one. So 4, easy 4. Came in too hard. Oh, easy 4. Hard 4. Just got to keep practicing. Just got to keep practicing that soft toss so it could become muscle memory. So that was a hard 4. It's 3. These are difficult shots. This is hard to do. Really is. Not gonna count that. That didn't even get to the wall. So even though it was a 3, not gonna count it. Do over. Shake the dice and then set the dice. I almost hit a landmine, but still got the 3. Easy 6. Wasn't the toss I liked, but still got a favorable number out of it. Easy 8. That was a bad toss all around. Not going to count it, even though it was an easy 8. That was a shit throw. Did not concentrate on that one. Whole purpose of this video is to get that soft tossing to see if we can get better results. Oh, another do-over. Landed way far off. Let's see how we can do. Not going to count that either. All right, so there's a few bad tosses. That last toss was a 7, but we didn't count it because they never reached the wall. Now, sometimes the box man, if you're on a good roll, might allow you a do-over on it, but sometimes they'll say, okay, look, I'm going to be nice to you. I'm going to give you a do-over because it didn't reach the wall. Next time, we'll crap out with that number. So, and when I'm at Atlantic City Resorts, these guys are really good. They're very friendly. And stickmen want to make money, you know. It's easy 8. One time I tossed a 7 at Atlantic City Resorts. Didn't even land near the wall, landed around here, and he took the stick in. He said, do over. And it was crazy because the box man really did not notice that that was a 7. And I think he did that to, like, you know, in my favor. He ended up getting a nice tip at the end. It's an easy 4. So that does happen too. Sometimes if they can do it, they do it. It was weird because it didn't reach the wall. It was like this. This was a 4, by the way. It was like that, right? It never got to the wall, but it said 4-3. And he swept it real quick and said, do over. So appreciate those guys every now and then. All right. It's an 9. Got a 9 out of it. It's been a while since setting the dice the way I do that. I got the top part of it. It's a 9. So we're on a decent roll right now, but I know you guys are going to say there was a couple of sevens that landed, but they weren't near the wall, and you should have counted it because boxmen aren't going to be that nice. I agree, but the casino that I play at, they've been pretty good about it. Sometimes, like the story I told you before, he swept it with the stick real quick and said do over. And sometimes the boxmen are so chatting up that optical illusion, they don't catch it in time. But sometimes they're real nice, okay? And they'll say something like, just make sure it hits the wall. I'm not going to count it, just make sure it hits the wall. If it doesn't hit the wall the next time, I'm going to call it a crap number. So that's why I did that. And that's an easy, no, not an easy. I thought it was an 8 to 9. And that's the way I set up on top. So, like I said, it's not going to translate. It's not going to translate to the casino what you do at the practice session. What you hope to get out of it is muscle memory. Easy 10. It hit hard underneath and came out this far. Sometimes that'll happen. We're trying to soft toss it. That seems to be difficult to do. And there's your dreaded 7, and that ends this session. Okay, so the dreaded 7 came out. That's the end of this session. And I hope you enjoyed this practice session. Let me tally it up, and let me pause this for a second. Okay, out of this, we had 18 sevens that we rolled. Let me see how many tosses we had. Okay, that's how many tosses we had. If I made a mistake, leave it in the comment section. I'm pretty sure I counted 116 tosses, and there was 18 sevens that came out of it. Okay, so that wasn't too bad. A lot better than the previous videos, that's for sure. Okay, guys, that ended another practice session, practicing the soft toss for better results at the casinos. And, for 116 tosses and getting just 18 sevens, that's pretty much, that's a good practice session. Will it translate to the casino? I can't tell you that because everything plays out differently from at home to a casino. But my soft tosses, the muscle memory behind it, that's starting to translate to the casino. So that's a good thing. So I've been consistent with my getting into the teens now. From 13 to 17, it's been consistent. I'm crapping out after like 13 throws. So that's a good thing. That means I got 13 chances to make some good money, right? My betting strategies is what holds me back from making more money, right? Imagine if I was playing the all other numbers on that table. Maybe I'll make more money, but I'm gonna feel better. So for some reason, over here at home, I get sixes, eights, fives, twos, threes, right? And I'm at the casino, I'm getting all types of field numbers. The 2, 3, the 12s are paying doubles for me. I'm getting a lot of nines, 11s, 10s, 4s at the casino. So the muscle memory is obviously doing wonders for me. That's what's translating to the casino from this. But, this was a much better practice session. It started off kind of rough, right? We had a lot of sevens come out. And then towards the end, we ended up on a good roll, even though it was a little controversy behind it, right? When you guys were watching, you saw that a couple of those throws did not make the back, and they were sevens, and we didn't count it, right? Maybe the casino counts it, right? When you're on a long road, the casino might say, you know what? We're going to count that because we're not here to give out money, so we're trying to take your money. We're not going to count it. we're going to count the 7, even though it didn't hit the wall. So that could be at an unfair advantage to you. Always remember, the casinos are not there to give you money, okay? So, but overall, I'm doing these videos because about a while back, I was like, I'm always practicing. Why don't I just upload these practice sessions? You know, I practice every day. I put in almost an hour every day, maybe more than that. Even though my uploads are long, it's sometimes good to put it on. Maybe you're working out and you just want to watch it on your phone, or maybe you're in the, you know, doing whatever it is you do in the bathroom, and you just want to put this on and instead of reading a newspaper, and then you can see the results. Again, I'm just trying to give you guys an edge, trying to see if maybe soft tossing it, less spins, less inertia, rolling it back towards the underneath of the alligator skin, hitting that back wall, but underneath the alligator skin is the best thing to do. Maybe those results are better. I know for me personally, they're starting to show up at the casino. There's a lot of adjustments you have to make from your release. You could still go with your same dice set, and then your grip. You got to have a comfortable grip. If you don't like the grip you have, change it up. Just change it up, and hopefully that helps. And your release. I'm throwing from stickman right. I'm a lefty, and when I'm at the casino, I try to get to 10 foot so I could make it a 9.5 foot throw because I lean into the guy. I lean in. My method is different. There's a lot of guys that look at me at the casino, and it's just different. Some will say, "Oh, he's a dice controller." Just because I'm setting the dice doesn't necessarily mean I'm a dice controller. Um, what it means is that I'm trying to get that dice set that's going to help me get the numbers I'm looking for. And if I could get this soft toss down to the point where I can match it with the felt, it could be a softer felt. My felt is hard because of the picnic table and the box. But at the casino, it's going to have a little bit of a bounce. If I could get it to that point where I could, that muscle memory kicks in, then I could be in the high 20s, 30s, on my rolls and really make some serious cash. But I'm a minimum better, $10 table minimum. And I play low to win big. I'm a feel better. I'm not going to put all these chips all over the place and then crap out. Okay, that's one of my biggest fears. Sometimes the stickman will tell me, "You're really missing out on some big paydays," but I just don't feel like it's necessary. You got big players out there that can do that. You even got random throwers that know how to bet and they're making their dollars, but that's just them. Me, I practice my tosses every day. I practice my toss, and I'm trying to get this soft toss down. So I hope you enjoy this practice session. Hit that like and subscribe button. Much appreciated, guys. And again, if I made any mistakes or spoke out of line and said a few things that doesn't make sense in the craps world, put it in the comments, and I'll get back to you on it. I could learn from my viewers too. I'm just trying to show you guys if there's any advantage to this soft toss. If we could get better results, then great. Then we all achieve something that we worked hard at. So thank you for tuning in, and hope to see you next time and the next practice session. All right, guys, have a good night, and hopefully the next practice session will be a lot better, and maybe we could show more angles. So enjoy it, and hit that like and subscribe button for me so I could be up close and personal. So thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time.